welcome to another episode of Mick and the Fat Man, coming to you live from the Mick and the Fat Man studios, where we are talking life, music, and everything. Well, welcome everybody to Mick and the Fat Man Series 3, Episode 10. Mick, g'day, and how are you travelling, sir?
Look, can I just pull you up there?
Yes, sir.
Jeffrey, you've mentioned the word travelling, and I think that's important. I've adopted the thinking, if that's what you can call it, of the sovereign citizen movement.
Oh, that is sensational.
Yes, and so I will no longer be driving my vehicle, either motorcycle or car. I will be travelling in that vehicle, and therefore the police and government agencies will have no jurisdiction over me.
That's right, and you don't need to have them insured, and you do not need a licence to drive them either, because you're not commercial. If you're not carrying out commercial activity, you don't need insurance or any of that.
Well, further than that, because I'm a sovereign citizen, I am not a citizen of Australia, so your laws don't apply to me.
That's right. So you can just carry on as regardless. Now, the other thing I saw just recently, Mick, was that there's I don't know how it all works, but apparently, as you're born, there's a large amount of money deposited into an account. And from my understanding, it's around about $1 billion US. It goes into your account, and then what you can do, if someone sends you a bill, say just say you want to rent a house, what you do is you give the person who owns the house access. So you say, here's my Medicare number, my date of birth, and my address. You have access to, you have the ability now to draw down on that account and pay for the rent. And so everybody has this. So I don't exactly know where the money is. I don't actually know how to count to find it, and I don't know what the balance is, but it's there. People aren't told about it, and I think the government's just fucking making interest on it and, not telling us properly.
That is just horrifying, and clearly that's something American, because the government, the deep state, has spies in your life.
But we're just copying them.
Well, I don't think we'd have $1 billion in our accounts.
No, we probably got only a couple hundred
$25,
couple $100 million maybe, or something like that, or
each.
That's
fantastic.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking. So, for example, if you want to get a new bike, you go down to the to Yamaha, and you say, "How much for the 200 step through there, sir?" And they say that's $15,000. And you say, "Certainly. Here's my name, date of birth, address. You can withdraw that money from my account, and off you ride."
And it's that easy.
It's that easy. But people don't know about it. That's the thing. It's a secret. It's being held by deep state, and we don't understand what's going on.
Oh, okay. So that's what Pauline and people like that have been going on about. Pauline Hanson, of course. So.
Yeah, no, she's one of the few people that are on top of this.
That's fantastic.
Because, the Liberal Party's been in power. They've been keeping it secret because they want to use your money. They want to use the interests of your money. Now the Labor government's in. They're going to steal all your money and buy submarines with it.
I wondered where they were getting the money for those.
Yeah, they're getting it off our accounts.
Ah.
And what we should do, what you and I both should do, is send Albanese a letter and say, we would like to go for a ride in our submarine, please. Not even please. I demand to speak to the person who's in charge of the submarines, your most senior general, and take us for a ride in our submarine.
Wow, it's just so commanding the way you say that.
Yep. So as you've pointed out, you are able to travel on the roads. You're not a commercial driver, and therefore you can travel, and you are no longer under the jurisdiction of the New South Wales Police or any of those bylaws, and you can just do whatever you like. And the other thing that's shitting me, and I'm sure it's shitting you as well, is the fucking chemtrails that they're putting out all over the place. I walked out the back of your house just yesterday. I looked up, beautiful blue sky, within minutes, covered in bloody chemtrails from some fucking jet dumping bloody chemicals on top of us. My throat was hoarse after about 10 minutes as it dropped down. My eyes were watering. It was a bloody disaster.
I've heard of these chemtrails. Now, Who's dropping them and why?
So
seems like a pretty expensive exercise for no real result.
It's the government.
Oh, okay, right.
And they're basically indoctrinating us. So what's happening over time, we're becoming dumber and dumber and dumber, and we're basically becoming more subservient to the government.
I thought that was just a function of social media.
No. Well, it helps, but no, this is what's going on. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So the only way I think we can get away from the chemtrails, they seem to be more prevalent in populated areas. So I think you and I need to go and travel to an isolated area of Australia and hide out there.
But haven't we already done that? Didn't help.
Look, I know. Look, nothing's perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll get there eventually.
I think that while we were all in lockdown and we were all stuck in, and you and I particularly were stuck in the fat cave,
yeah.
I didn't see any chemtrails. I didn't see any planes.
Well, that's because we were locked away. But I bet you there was massive spraying going on when we were locked away. Massive.
Extraordinary.
And so, in fact, what will have happened is they would have sprayed it lots and lots and lots and lots, would have fallen on the trees. Once the rain comes, it all comes off the trees and goes into the waterways. You're drinking it, you're eating it, you're bloody consuming chemicals that are making you subservient to left and right wing governments.
Left and right wing.
Left and right. Don't think there's any difference between either of them. They're both deep state.
Wow.
Don't you just remember that. Wow. Trump knew about it, and he's been trying to do stuff about it, but he's being held back by the mainstream media.
You mean Rupert Murdoch?
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Yep. So
the mainstream media doesn't even like him. They keep sending texts to each other saying they hate him passionately.
That's fake news. Fake news, mate.
Fake news.
So look, I think we've gone through some of that stuff. We'll get back to some of this stuff because there's some very, very interesting things that are going to come along, and you and I are going to be We're going to be visiting the Governor General's residence and demanding that the Governor General sack the government, do his job. And the other thing we're going to do is get his wife to sing us a song. She does great songs. Have you heard her singing songs?
I can't say I have.
As we go through to that, I'll find one and I'll play you some of it.
Oh, please don't.
So when she goes to things like the opening of a new cancer centre for children, for example, she'll write a song about it. And as they open it up, she'll sing the song. Sort of things like, the cancer centre is really great. The cancer centre is just great. I am so amazed at the work they do. She does. I'm not joking.
How embarrassing.
I'm going to find one for you. We'll play it a bit later on. Anyway, mate, I have noticed that you have a pretty classy T-shirt on there, mate.
One tries to do what one can.
I know. And I would describe that T-shirt as, I don't know, maybe... Fashion.
Fashion. I've never been accused of that.
No, but it is a Beatles T-shirt of the Abbey Road with llamas.
Yes, and my wife got it for me from Peru.
Well, there you go.
So, because llamas live in Peru.
Actually, are they llamas or alpacas?
They're llamas.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you tell the difference between a llama and an alpaca?
One starts with an L. Yep. The other one starts with an A.
Yep. No, it makes sense. Okay. Abbey Road. The Abbey Road cover is an iconic album cover.
It is. Yeah.
That is copied amazingly on T-shirts. There are just so many of them, aren't there?
Well, there is, yeah. Look, I went and had a look the other day. We had a bit of a chat about this, and I know that there's been stuff available on the internet for quite some time parodying the Abbey Road cover, but it just keeps going, and new ones keep coming out all the time. I found the other day Japanese anime heroes walking across the street on Abbey Road. Yes,
nice.
The Simpsons, of course. The Simpsons have been used in a parody of every damn thing.
Yes,
the Depps. 4 Johnny Depp characters crossing the road, one of them dressed in white. now, which one was the one dressed in white and supposedly dead? I can't recall, but that's really got a lot of legs to it.
No, John Lennon was dressed in white, and he was the priest or something like that.
That's right. McCartney barefoot was dead.
Yes. McCartney was barefoot because the Italians bury their dead barefooted. And George...
Can't see it makes much difference, really.
George was the Undertaker, I think, and I can't remember what Ringo was, probably just
Ringo.
a drummer.
Yeah. And we all know about drummers, guys who hang out with musicians.
Who else have you seen?
I saw the Sherlocks,
really?
four of the most recognisable Sherlock Holmes. Doctor Who,
that would be good.
Yeah, so 4 of them at the same time in the same space-time continuum had come down to walk across Abbey Road on
4
Earth.
different ones.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It just goes on and on. And the Star Wars cover, the original picture of Star Wars when it was called Star Wars?
Yes.
From 1977.
The one we saw originally.
With someone with a lightsaber
yes.
and Harrison Ford looking nowhere near as wrinkled as he does now, that sort of thing. And I've seen that, again, with many of the same sorts of characters filling all of those roles. Some people are so clever. I can't even draw a straight line with a ruler.
Now, Mick, that's interesting, but what I've got for you today is I've been able to source some advice for fashion for 2023. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a little bit. I'm not going to play it all, but this is going to be really useful for you.
If you want to look stylish in 2023, all you have to do is watch this video because I'm about to give you the 10 biggest style trends in men's fashion this year. First is anything vintage. Vintage tees, boots, sunglasses. Fashion trends happen in cycles, and right now we're seeing a comeback for 70s fashion like big collars, sweater vests, all the way up to the 90s with cargo pants and colorful athleisure. So if you have vintage pieces, break them out, have some fun, and if you don't, I highly recommend you check out thrift stores because they have really nice pieces and of course they're affordable. 2, something that I call streetwear chic. Now, I love this trend. It looks very stylish. It's not easy to pull off, but if you're a subscriber of my channel, then you know that it's really all about practice. So just try it out. Just look at brands like Emilion Dor and Kith and how they've been able to elevate streetwear to new heights. These are certainly streetwear pieces, but they can be dressed up or down to create really well put together outfits that come across as
I'm not going to go on any longer, Mick, but you get the idea, don't you?
So what he's actually saying is that if you want to look good in 2023, you've got to be tall, black, a model, certainly well over 6 foot. And anything that you've got that may have some nod towards old can't be really old. It's got to be brand new.
So I'm going to put a link to that in the show notes so that all of our friends can get access to streetwear chic. That's the one I'm going to go for. Although, just recently, I did buy a few pair of cargo pants. I'm thinking, when I saw that, I thought, holy fuck, I'm trendy.
I think there's something they're not telling us.
Cargo pants.
They're laughing at us. When the camera's off, they're laughing at us.
But don't you love who doesn't love a nice sleeveless 1970s sweater?
I've been fashionable all this time.
You and I have just been fucking banging it out the door. Anyway, streetwear chic, that's the one I really love. That's basically about getting a collection of totally unmatching clothing and putting it on all together. That's why it's a bit tricky to pull together.
Yeah. Well, remember we talked about the B-52s recently with their thrift store aesthetic.
Oh, indeed.
So that thrift store thing's been fashionable since 1979.
Well, that's why he's saying going back to the 70s, you see.
And dress like the B-52s.
So we're basically back in the 70s. We've leapt forward to 2023 and hello. Just look at the B-52s and dress like them and you will be fashionable. Dress it up with a couple of extra items like a funny-looking beanie or something like that and you're streetwear chic.
Rock lobster.
So he's good. That's Alex Costa, by the way. So
he was great.
Thank you, Alex. And he's looking great. And if you follow him on YouTube, you'll really, I think from what he was saying, you'll really get a good understanding of streetwear chic. That's where you'll get it. And I think that you and I went out and had a feed last night. We were looking a little bit 70s, but I think we really need to tart it up a little bit to really get to streetwear chic, don't you?
Yeah, a bowling shirt, a pair of Converses. And we're on top of the game.
Oh, mate. You and I, when you think about it, all our life we've been sitting at the cutting edge of this, haven't we?
Fashion, nothing to me.
I just think about fashion. I think of you, and I think of how many Harley Davidson T-shirts do you have?
70 odd. I have enough to last till I die, whenever that is.
I don't know whether he's got Harley Davidson T-shirts in there, but maybe we should watch the whole video and see if he gets the Harley Davidson T-shirts, because it may be there, and you just go, perfect.
It doesn't matter.
I've known
if it's not this year, it'll be next year or the year after. I'm fashionable now, and then when it comes online, I'll be the trendsetter who's always been ahead of the game.
So I think we need to subscribe to Alex so that we can keep up, because 2024 is going to be a big year. I can see it, can't you?
And I think it's wonderful. Yes, I can. I'm looking forward to it. It's wonderful that he's clearly sponsored by Gillette. The things he does with a beard is just not worth mentioning on air.
I think he's using a nice razor, just gives that nice close look.
Yeah.
And he's got a sick fade, and so, all that sort
Fully
of stuff.
Fully sick.
Actually, doesn't he? Has more of your bouffants. He's got more of a bouffants on the top of his head.
I wish I had a bouffant on the top of my head.
You've got a sick fade, but it's over the entire head.
It's very true. A sick fade. There's the term you don't hear every day.
Mate, you know I'm...
You're there.
I'm there. I know these sorts of terms. I'm thinking, got my sick fade happening, baby.
Oh, dear. I'm feeling sick.
But anyway, shall we move on, sir? We've as I said, I'll put the link to that in the show notes. We only touched on 2 of the style trends for men for 2023. There's 10 there, so you want to get on top of most of those.
That's right. Yeah, you can pick and choose, and you can just be there in 2023.
Yeah. Now, Alex Dimery, not Alex, Big Bad Bob Dimery, I beg your pardon. 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die. Now what page was I at? I've forgotten what page I was on. But anyway, you and I decided to deliberately just choose one that we're interested in, something different. I said, let's do something different. Page 593, popping out in 1988 is Tracy Chapman with her album Tracy Chapman.
That's another one of those committee decisions about what to name the album.
That's right. Now, interesting, she had 5 singles and 3 albums in the charts of the Australian charts.
From this album?
No, 3 albums
Oh.
in total, 5 singles and 3 albums that are in the chart book. Fast Car got to number 5 out of this album and was in the charts for 19 weeks. And the album itself got to number 3 and was in the charts for 67 weeks. So she became quite successful out of that first album, and never quite so as successful ever again. She was never quite there after that as much.
Yeah. I don't mind it. I like Fast Car, and I like the other song that I know of from the album before this, talking about a revolution. But I do find her approach and her voice and her whole attitude a bit listless, a bit maudlin.
Oh, it's not a happy album.
It's not.
Like talking, what's the one... Last night I heard her screaming, sounds coming from behind the wall, or something like that. Another sleepless night. And, so it's
and
about...
she clearly wasn't talking about someone having his porno turned up too loud.
No, basically the domestic violence in the room next door. Eventually she's carted off in an ambulance. But interestingly, way back in the day... You remember Doug Mulray on Triple M?
Uncle Doug
with Andrew Boyd Genius and Miss Lizzie and all those sorts of things. He basically broke this album in Australia because he'd been in America and heard it over there and started playing when he came over here. So it actually basically started playing the album before the single was even released, I believe.
That's really quite amusing for Mr. Disrespectful Comedian to be playing one of the most maudlin albums of the year.
I know. But, he played Fast Car. I think it was Fast Car that he was playing mostly. But that's right, most disrespectful. The man who got thrown off Australian television for showing a kangaroo's penis, I think it was, wasn't it?
something as totally in tune with the zeitgeist, yes.
Because the station was owned by Kerry Packer, wasn't it?
Get him off.
Get him off. It was like 15 minutes into the show suddenly disappeared and up came reruns of bloody Astro Boy or something.
Wouldn't it be nice to have that power?
Oh God, it was hilarious. And I wasn't actually watching the program, but you remember the next day the news was just rife with Doug Mulray. Bloody hilarious.
Oh, indeed.
It used to be a good show though, didn't it?
It was very, very funny. I think by the time we got to the end of it, by the time he got thrown off, he deserved it.
Oh,
he was pushing to see how far he could go.
Yeah. He'd moved on.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, I didn't mention it was actually produced by David Keschenbaum.
Oh, Dave. I love his
and
work.
art direction by Karen Bolbitz.
Oh, yeah.
She only knocked out 35 minutes, so, she wasn't pushing the boundaries of long albums or any stretch of the imagination.
It's quite funny. We just did Tubular Bells, which was 49 minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
And this one's 35, so they're coming in the average around 40. But
yeah, but realistically, back the world of albums really was basically 35 to 40 odd minutes, somewhere in that order. Just flicking through now, I'm just looking through basically 37, 31, 35, 37, 37. 39. So, yeah, that's just a few
pages.
There's
a benchmark.
That's a few pages back and forward. Yep. So I quite like the album, and I like her. I've got 3 of her albums I've listened to on occasion. I must admit I hadn't listened to them for quite some time. I listened to this one and I thought, still a nice album.
Yeah. The style was certainly very different to the hair bands that were prevalent at the end of the 80s. That glamish sort of rock and roll style.
Yeah, because interesting, you've got because this album's chronological, you get REM, Green, around the place, and Go Between, 16 Lovers Lane, the Pixies, Surfer Rosa, all around the same time. Dinosaur Jr., Metallica. So they're sort of back and forward on a couple of pages.
Mm. Look, the song Fast Car is similar in many ways to another song that was on the charts at the same time, Suzanne Vega, Luca.
My name is Luca.
Yeah, exactly. About a girl getting flogged in an apartment. So a bit of a disrespectful way to talk about domestic violence, but that's what it was all about.
Yeah.
And this is much of Tracy's stuff is about the same sort of thing. Yeah, she's from the wrong side of New York, and so she's talking with some accuracy about what's going on.
Sure.
Like I said, I find it a little bit dark and gloomy.
A bit maudlin.
A bit maudlin, indeed. The album was generally reviewed well, but general perception, Fast Car was, because it was about stuff that was really happening, was a little more realistic than talking about a revolution, which is sort of naive folky stuff.
Yeah.
All in all, not a bad album. Not something I'd go running everywhere.
That debut album, pretty good.
Yeah.
I think we'll give it a pretty good. I think I even bought it. So
yeah. I think we can give her a 5 mag wheels out of 7.
And she did all right in the US charts as well, but she seemed to sort of fade away as time went on, didn't she?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what the Tracy Chapman story is. I don't know whether she took a pot of gold and vanished, but or whether she shared her money with Vanilla Ice.
Well, he certainly needed some.
He did. He needed a lot.
Poor bugger.
Yes.
But look, she's done a couple of gigs for the Trump family. Who knows?
Well, that would be a way to put money back in your coffers.
That's right. Get
they pay
Don
bills.
Jr. Well, they renowned for being on time paying. Great philanthropists. The Trump family.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, Tracy. We look forward. We recommend Tracy and have a listen to some of her other stuff. It's quite good, to be honest with you.
Yep.
We'll put it. We'll have it in the show notes as a link to the to the playlist. And let's move on, Mick. I believe that it's once again time to get that rattling old bloody banged up school bag, the Globite school bag that is, and open it up and tell us what you got hidden inside this show, sir.
Let's do that. It might be coming up to time to get rid of the Globite school bag, but I'm very fond of it.
Oh, look, I'm fond of it as well. And I feel that its longevity is a testament to the original production techniques of Globite back in the 60s and 70s.
I think you're right. Yeah, an Australian product designed for tough conditions.
And indeed, one of the friends of the show, Tanika, sent me a photo of the Globite shop in Melbourne Airport.
Oh.
And
we should make that a shrine.
We should go down there. I don't know whether there's one in Sydney, but I'd rather go to the Melbourne one anyway. Yeah. And see if they actually make the old hardcover Globite school bags.
Well, if they were consulting Mr. Fashion Advice, they could know that a retro Globite school bag mixed with your thrift store aesthetic and your street chic would just put you right on top of the game.
The thing that we would probably this is I'm just thinking I'm pie in the sky type stuff.
Spitballing.
Pete told us about the hard Globite backpack. That would be your street chic look, wouldn't it? The hard Globite backpack.
So from us mocking Pete for getting it wrong, we should have actually been praising him for being on the crest of the curve.
Yeah. And I can see now, you can see us, can't you?
I can.
With a 1970, I got a pair of cargo pants on, I've got a nice sort of bowling shirt, American style, and I've got the hard Globite backpack on with all my man things in there, like hair gel, like a
beard
trimmer, nasal trimmer, stuff like that. There's stuff you can get for getting your scrotum nice and clean nowadays as well. Cream for defoliating your scrotum. It's
that'll be big. I'd like to see that advertised on TV.
It's on Facebook. I get ads for it all the time. I'm not joking. It's called. I have to find.
What's wrong with me? They don't send me that ad.
Well, your scrotum's already clean. You know, you've already you shave it regularly.
Oh my goodness!
It's called Bare Nuts or something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a brand. They have stuff to exfoliate your scrot.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes our show goes off the rails. This one went off the rails 15 minutes ago and it's hurtled off the cliff.
But that's what be in your bag.
Of course, yes.
And then you want the six blade razor for trimming up around the the beard, so that you're looking nice,
super sharp.
That's right, and all those sorts of things. And what else do you have in your man bag? Do you have men of that style would have a purse, a money purse, I would have thought, a little money purse.
Well, you've got to have something to hold your credit cards.
Just for coinage, I'm thinking.
Oh, yes.
This is one of the things. I never have any coins anymore. I don't know whether you have any coins anymore. It's very difficult to have coins anymore. But when you see a busker who you don't mind, think, oh, gee, I wouldn't mind giving him $1, but I don't have $1. The only dollar I've got is the $1 to put into the fucking shopping trolley so I can get a shopping trolley because they don't trust us. And the poor bloody busker's missing out on the $1 because it's got to go in the shopping trolley.
That's right, the unintended consequences of the flight to credit.
Although there is a couple of guys who play at my local Woolies supermarket, and they have actually gone to tap and go, so you can actually give them $5 or $2 or something like that on a tap and go sort of thing nowadays.
You get charged a service fee for that as well?
Probably, because if you do it with Apple Pay or something like that, they charge. Making a squillion bucks out of me, that's for sure.
Fantastic.
Anyway, so Pete, thank you once again for sharing that knowledge about the backpack Globite, which actually, I'd just think about that. We probably have to go to Queensland to get one. We'd have to go to a thrift shop or a St Vinny's type thing to find an old Globite backpack, because I never saw them in New South Wales.
We could go to one of the towns, 300 or 400 k's back from the beach, right? And it's still got the main street, with the with the men's wear shop, and it'll have a section with school cases.
Yeah, no,
that's where we'll go.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so we're back up in Queensland now, obviously.
Oh, absolutely.
When we go to record the episode in the 747 up at
yes, in Longreach.
Longreach, that's where we go.
We'll see. We'll scour around.
We'll visit Pete. He's going to put us up, I think, isn't he? For a couple of days.
I think he is. Yes,
for a week or something like that. Put on some beers and a bit of food. Put a pig on the spit and stuff like that.
Well, you said that, yeah.
And then we do the episode recording. We get him in as a guest.
It's a good idea. Yep.
And he can do hors d'oeuvres and just little nibbles, just while we're doing the podcast, just little nibbles and stuff like that.
Yep.
But we'll stay there. We'll do the Drovers Museum and the
Qantas
Museum, and then we'll come back down inland via.
We're already inland.
Well, no, come back down to Sydney via Burke.
And Ningen.
Yeah. Ningen. We'll spend a couple of days in Ningen.
Yep.
The Ningen Legion Club I went to on New Year's Eve once, and I felt like I was in a Monty Python sketch. It was just New Year's Eve, right?
Yep.
There. I'd been out to Broken Hill, seeing my son, coming back, stayed the night in Ningen, and go up to the bar and said, got the wine list. There's like half a dozen wine. No, there was 8 wines on the wine list, so 4 white, 4 red. And I said, can I have a bottle of the Chardonnay, please? And he said, no, sorry, we're out of the Chardonnay. I went, oh, that's a pity. What about the Pinot Grigio? Just a moment, I'll check. He goes, Bert, have we got any of the Pinot Grigio? No, I sold the last one 10 minutes ago. I felt like saying, is there any wine here at all, sir?
No, I've been deliberately wasting your time.
What wine do you have here? And I think it's New Year's Eve. You can't run out of wine at 7 o'clock on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, you can in Ningen. It's a bit quiet.
In Ningen.
On any night.
But they do have a beautiful helicopter up on a stand that you can go and have a look at. Yeah, because remember the Ningen floods, they had the Iroquois helicopters come in and get everybody out, and they have an old one sitting on a stick.
That's right. That's in a little bus bay.
Yeah, that type of thing, yeah. So anyway, we'll come back via Ningen, Burke. Burke's been flooded as well. Ningen's been flooded just recently. So what I'm thinking is we just be spending our money helping the local area out.
And that's commendable.
I think so.
Yep.
Anyway, what have you got in the fucking bag, mate?
I've got something as big as New York. In fact, it is New York. It's New York by Lou Reed.
Oh, old Lou boy.
Yeah. It's a long time since we've had a talk about Lou. Yeah. And look, Australia's always been a great supporter of Lou Reed. They've been one of the strongest supporters, believe it or not. And given that he's very, very strong New York gutter focus almost, it seems strange on the face of it for Australia to say, well, hey, let's adopt Lou Reed as something that we really like. But Australians,
I think Ningen has a memorial to Lou Reed.
They have a Lou Reed shrine in the corner of the RSL.
Yeah, they do.
And that's important.
Yeah, and their sister city in America is, of course, New York.
N and N. It just plays, doesn't it? It's just perfect.
Yep. Do go on.
So, well, we've successfully derailed this one, haven't we? Yeah. Look, as I say, Australia's always been a strong supporter of Lou Reed. I talked to people about our podcast on more than one occasion, and they always beeline straight to the Velvets and Berlin episodes.
Oh, yes.
Talking about the album that you dubbed as one of the most miserable ever made.
Fucking miserable. Bloody hell. Jesus Christ.
Well, New York is a dramatic change from Berlin. Similar sort of content, but the style is very, very straightforward. It's the album itself is one of his most successful.
Good, because I like it.
Yeah.
I'm saying it up front, I like this album.
Yeah. It's a very good, for Lou Reed in particular, it's very approachable. It's very rock and roll. If anything, I think he's harking back to the first Velvet Underground album, which 2 guitars, bass and drums, and that's what he said when it was reviewed, when it was released rather. I remember the quote, double page spread for the review, and a big those big lift out quotes that they have, and it says 2 guitars, bass and drums. That's as good as it gets.
And a Celesta. Was there a Celesta?
They did have one, but they had to drop it out for copyright purposes. Yeah, so there you go.
John Cale had it.
He did, yeah. And he was about to lend it to Mike Oldfield.
Oh, that's right. He had to give it to Mike, didn't he?
Yeah. Very basic personnel on this album. There was Lou Reed.
Yep.
Mike Rathke on guitar, and he's really good. I've seen him live. He's a great player. Rob Wasserman on electric upright bass.
Oh, he played an upright?
Yeah, not just playing your normal Fender bass, but he's playing an upright. And that looks really good on stage. And it gives a really deep sound, a beautiful filling sound to the sound.
In fact, what's the bass player that Gabriel plays with? But he sometimes
Thanks for that.
He sometimes has an upright electric bass.
Yes, yeah.
It looks because he's Tony Banks, isn't it? Not Tony Banks, that's a keyboard player. Anyway, big tall bastard.
Oh, Mike Rutherford, of course. Yes, he does that. Yes,
and he's got the thing. It's big. He's big. It's big.
Yep,
it's fantastic.
Yeah, there's something special about an upright bass. It's just the way it looks and the reverberation it gets within the case. It's lovely.
It's like a drummer. It's the most impractical musical instrument you could ever have.
Absolutely, but it's great. And drummers, you had Fred Marr doing most of the drumming on this album, but Mo Tucker from the Velvets dropped in for 2 tracks.
Oh,
so it was really nice, Again, very basic sound, and Lou stripped everything back. He really had an interesting sort of 80s.
Did you sort of stop halfway through one of the songs?
They turned the mic off. Yeah. And she said, well, I'll be going then. Yeah. And that's the last we heard of it.
That's right.
Lou had a pretty ordinary... From Berlin onwards, Lou's career was patchy, to say the least. He had a few lows. He made a few missteps in the music that he produced, some of the lyrics that he produced. He's always had this attitude, there's this smart ass, pushy New York attitude that perhaps isn't justified by what he's produced.
Because if you think about it, go back to Transformer, and he's basically sitting kind of at the crest of the wave of a little bit of commerciality and a bit of success, and he goes, fuck that, I don't want that.
Yep, absolutely.
I want to do something, I want to do it the way I want to do it.
Yep.
And then it was Berlin after that, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, Berlin wasn't successive. No. It's only been successful now, in time, posthumously. Yeah.
Posthumously.
I don't think that's... it was a success before he died in 2013, but it wasn't a success at the time. And going on after it, he had lots of great songs. He had Coney Island Baby, Street Hassle. If you know Reed, you listen to Street Hassle. Never going to get played on the radio, but a terrific song. Things off the Blue Mask, New Sensations. But the albums that supported those individual songs, patchy, mixed. There's a lot of mediocrity in there, and I'm thinking all the time, I really like Lou Reed, but I cringe when I prefer to listen to a mix of Lou's albums rather than any one album.
Right.
And you think, God, can I have this album without that crap?
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a shame, and it was great when he came back to 1989 and releases this album. It's like maybe somebody got into his ear and said, Lou,
you need to have a good hard look at yourself, son.
Mate, cut the crap and play something good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, in an American music vernacular.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Look, there was another issue that I hadn't thought about for a long while. With his early albums, there was a lot of question about whether Reed was solely responsible for those. Yeah, in terms of the success of the albums, there was obviously Transformer.
Yeah.
Was it because Lou Reed was great, or was it because Bowie and Ronson produced it?
Oh, okay.
We're talking Mick Ronson there, the guitarist from Bowie's band, the Spiders from Mars. And what about Berlin? With all of its posthumous, as you say, success was how much of that was due to Lou Reed and how much of it was due to Bob Ezrin's clearly demonstrated production skills. So would Rock and Roll Animal be such a great album if it wasn't for Steve Hunter and Dick Wagner?
I don't know. These are great questions.
It is, yeah. You listen to what the way they tore the song Heroin apart.
Would White Light, White Heat ever be made again?
Probably not.
No.
So there was all. I suspect that Reed, did those things, and he just draws in influences from wherever he could. But nonetheless, those questions existed. Yeah, look, you got all these questions and these issues about Lou Reed because he's brought these questions on himself because of his mulish attitude and because of Metal Machine music, which is most people's idea of a representative on the 10 worst albums ever made.
It's shit.
It's absolute rubbish. Absolute.
But why? Who would release that? I don't even know how it got released.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. He released that to show that, to put a stop to this, Lou Reed's going commercial. Well, it was very successful if that's what his aim was.
It worked.
It worked.
You did not go, that's not commercial by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. But New York got to 1989. Like I said, he was never rich. He never had the commercial success to be a bankable proposition from album to album. So then he releases New York, no expectations, and it comes out of the box. Straight rock and roll, really good rock and roll songs, a variety of tempos, but with some of the best lyrics he'd written since Velvet Underground.
Really good lyrics.
Yeah, really good stuff.
The Last Great American Whale is a great song.
It is, and
actually, you should go through some of these songs.
I will go through some of them in a minute. There's the lyrics and the quotes that you can just pull out of every single song. It's not, you should listen to this one song on the album. It's got great lyrics and the other stuff's all right. Every single song, whatever you want to pick at random, you'll pull a great vignette out of it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this album is part of his late 80s renaissance. So, particularly productive period of his career. He had New York album, the single Dirty Boulevard. Now a Lou Reed single.
Yeah, that's a good song too, isn't it? Though
it's a very strong song indeed, and we'll touch on some of that shortly. But it spent 4 weeks at the top of the Billboard charts for Lou Reed. Yeah, Lou Reed to even bother the charts, let alone get on top.
So he might have even made a bit of money out of this album.
Exactly right. Yeah. Well, he needed to. Yeah. And then he did Songs for Drella, the collaboration with John Cale, which was not anywhere near the commercial success that this album was.
Never going to be, though.
But a critical success. It really established that, hey, Lou Reed's actually doing stuff that's really worth talking about. And it was good for John Cale too.
Yeah.
Because that album represented... We should talk about that album one day. It's one that most people... In fact, I suspect very few people will have in their collection, people who are listening to us, but it's worth having a listen to. It's a great album.
I'll put it in the playlist.
Yes, yeah.
And then we'll talk about it later.
Indeed. So that late 80s creative period, many artists have a mid-career or a late-career renaissance, and this was it for Lou Reed. Probably, for my money, I reckon it's as good as the Velvet's first album. I reckon it's as good as Berlin. Yeah, which is big saying because you know how much I think Berlin is probably one of the best albums ever made. I love it.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, strong songs, really caustic lyrics. You can strip paint with some of the lyrics that he trots out on this album. Really clear. He's always been good at observing. And putting that into a quick word picture. Yeah. Great playing, restrained playing. We mentioned Hunter and Wagner before. Now their skill set was called over the top. Yeah. So for the first time, possibly since that first Velvet Underground album, he focused on strong writing and clean rock riffs. Instead of a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, dirty sort of.
Well, swearing for no good purpose. I work with you, so I'm used to hearing those words.
Potty mouth.
Yeah, potty mouth stuff. But it's got a time and a place, and it's like that. They say if you say it too much, it loses its effect. And a lot of the stuff on Reed's middle career stuff was bad for bad's sake, naughty for naughty's sake, and you think, oh, yeah, not again. Can you just shut up? Wonderful wordplay. There's a couple of good magazines which are still active online, and one of those is called Classic Rock. Now, this is nothing if it's not classic rock. And it described the album New York as an angry love letter, a biting indictment, an open-hearted. It just goes on. You know, he was feeling his oats. This bloke, an open-hearted outpouring of empathy, despair, resignation, fury, and outrage.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, so he was right into this album. He liked it. The album is essentially a concept album. It's about this is where New York is in the late 80s. And it's been another review described it as, if you want to hear what New York sounds like at the end of the 80s as it crashes headlong into the 90s, listen to this album.
I forgot to mention this early on, which I should have. He actually didn't do too bad chart-wise in Australia.
That's what I said to you. Australia has been a big supporter of Lou Reed. By head count, we have back then 20 million people, which is way less than Europe and America.
So he had just four singles in the charts in Australia. Walk on the Wild Side, obviously. I Love You, Suzanne. No Money Down, but Dirty Boulevard was the best one in 1989. Got to 42.
Yep.
But he's had 15 albums in the top 100 albums. With his most successful, Transformer, got to number 12. Sally Can't Dance got to 14. New York got to 20. So, and Songs for Drella actually got to 95, actually snuck in there.
It's there.
That's interesting, isn't it?
It is, yeah. He's never going to bother the top of the charts for very much.
And I mean, if you're sneaking into the Australian charts in 95, you're still not selling that many.
You're not selling a lot of records.
Not selling a lot of records.
No, that was the week that I bought the copy.
That's right.
Yeah. This concept album that he's talking about, it paints New York more like Taxi Driver than Sex and the City.
Yeah, that's probably better.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice way of putting it. It's still a town full of transsexuals, prostitutes, drug addicts, the poor, the hungry, greedy politicians and corrupt preachers, but they're not the absolute gutter-dwelling lowlife that you find in Transformer, Berlin, and some of his Velvet stuff.
Yeah, right.
Because even in the Velvets, after that first album, he was pushing towards getting something a little more commercial because he expressed a preference for eating.
That's right. Yeah. I think I might need to do something that it results in the ability to purchase food.
Yeah, I'd like to buy some food if you don't mind. So there's no elaborate scenarios like there was in Berlin. He didn't dig in. Didn't talk about candy coming from out the island and giving everybody head jobs, that sort of thing. He was dealing with every day.
But you didn't give it away. That was the thing.
She never once gave it away.
You had to pay for it.
And pay.
pay.
That's right. But this album, New York, dealing with everyday stuff. So a lot more. Yeah, it's nice to hear Walk on the Wild Side and you hear all those lyrics, but they're never stuff we're going to come into contact with. Generally, yeah. Yeah. Unless someone knocks at the door and says, "Hi, I'm from out on the island." It doesn't happen a lot in the suburbs.
Can I sell you a head job, sir?
Well, let's talk about that. Domestic violence, child abuse, corruption, politics, all the stuff that people have at least got some exposure to and understanding of. Life is shit, is basically what this album's telling you.
Yeah, right.
But it's grittier because it's real. That's that everyday stuff that everyone's got a taste of. And Reed did it all. Because there's only the four and it's Lou Reed album and he's leading the pack, there's no question about who's in charge, whose ideas it is, who's driven, who the product labelling on the front is the product that's inside. It's all Lou Reed.
Yeah.
And I did this. Lots of political comment, which I know that a lot of people don't care about political content or don't necessarily follow politics, and especially American politics. Here in Australia, a lot of people, you can express an interest in what's happening, but most people don't get beyond Donald Trump, right, or whoever's the president. Getting down to being able to list off half a dozen senators or members of Congress and what sort of bills they're considering. That's not really something of most people's interest here in Australia.
No,
but that doesn't affect your enjoyment of this album. That's nice. It's an additional frame to look at the album with, but the rest of the stuff, the more generic stuff, and the tunes themselves and the guitar work, it's all good and all accessible for the average person to have a listen to.
I was looking in Wikipedia, and there's an interesting line in that, little interesting sentence in there. It says, Reed's straightforward rock and roll sound on this album was unusual for the time, and along with other releases such as Graham Parker's The Mona Lisa's Sister, presaged a back-to-basic turn in mainstream rock music.
That's fair. I hadn't equated Graham Parker, because Graham Parker and the Rumour was a very basic English pub rock, if you like.
Yeah. So I thought, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's very, very good. And Reed's always allowed a bit of English influence to creep into him.
So to speak.
So to speak, yes. He's never just been. It's a New York picture, but he's more than happy to import some of his paint colours from the English scene.
Sure.
Yeah. He's still got humour. Yeah. When we talked about Berlin, we talked about Reed being a great observer of people and being able to transfer those observations into witty little epithets of word pictures, turns of phrase. He's not just there. He's not just there cracking it into the microphone. He's not just there venting his spleen. He's really trying to get you to think. One great example. I will give a bunch of quotes here. The ozone layer has no ozone anymore, and you're going to leave me for the guy next door? I'm sick of you. And then...
Gee, you don't hear the ozone layer talked about much in songs, do you?
Not much, no. So he's right on top of current issues as well. And he actually got clean from drugs.
Oh, okay.
So this helped his whole thinking and his approach to life as well. So his whole life was getting back together. So this is Lou Reed's life working well.
Yeah, right.
with lyrics like, "There's no mafia lawyer to fight in your corner for that 15 minutes of fame."
That's right.
And things like, "Please indulge me if I'm going to quote about another half a dozen little lines here that I really think you'll enjoy. This here's a zoo, and the keeper ain't you. There's no Christmas in February, no matter how much you say there is. So don't wish for stuff that ain't ever going to happen. Truth is they're happier when they're in pain. Guess that's why they got married."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That is a tough line. I love it. And this is what I'm saying. This is stuff that anyone can relate to. Even if they're in a happy marriage, everyone knows someone who's not.
He mentions a lot of people on this album as well.
He does indeed. He goes. He pulls politics. He pulls.
In some cases, one could say it feels just like yesterday because he talks about Rudy Giuliani and Donald Trump.
How are these people still hanging around? Yeah. Back then, they had a much better reputation than they have now.
Oh, that's right. Giuliani was, in fact, quite a good lawyer. He was actually, at the bar and doing quite well for himself. He just became a nutter with running hair later in life.
Exactly.
And Donald
right.
Trump was basically a 3-time bankrupt, and
it's more than that now, isn't it? Yeah.
I think he only did. I think it was only 3, but anyway.
But yeah, look, you're absolutely right. People of the political scene or the social scene of New York, and New York, as far as Lou Reed's concerned, New York's the centre of the world. New York, and it is in practice, right, pretty much. Jesse Jackson. Now, he's long gone, but he was a black activist.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and certainly Reed doesn't think he's fair. So we'll touch on that in a moment.
Yep.
Giuliani, Trump, Kurt Waldheim, who at the time was the Secretary General of the United Nations.
That's right. I'd forgotten that.
Who was drummed out of office for Nazi links. Yeah.
I'd forgotten that.
Bernard Goetz, who went on the subway. Deliberately, he wasn't keen on being picked on by the gangs because the gangs were very prevalent. I believe they still are in New York. Yeah. And he got on board the subway and killed 4. They came up to him to try and mug him, and he got off.
Oh, he got off?
Yeah.
Wow.
So Reed's really picking up on the zeitgeist of what New York is, and that's what he says. Like, there's one line he says, "There's no such thing as human rights when you're walking the New York streets."
That's right.
And he dubs the Statue of Liberty the Statue of Bigotry.
Whoa.
That's a nice one, isn't it? Dirty Boulevard, the line probably most people have heard. Somewhere a landlord's laughing till he wets his pants. Because of the crap flap with the cardboard on the windows, because the glass is broken.
Oh, yeah. Oliver North is on there. Now, there's a blast from the past.
Yes.
Oliver North. Now, what was he involved with? Contra bloody money to Nicaragua. Yes, that's right.
He calls out Pope John Paul II, so he's very even-handed. He'll slap anybody. And he gets into Pope John Paul II, and he's referring to the Pope welcoming Kurt Waldheim to a ceremony with him. And he says, "Pontiff, pretty pontiff, can anyone shake your hand? Or is it that you like uniforms and someone kissing your hand?"
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly. So he's right into it. He even takes a shot at rock stars. There's a song called Straw Man, which... it's one of the hardest edge rock songs that Reed's ever done. Straw Man. Anyway, I won't bother you with singing it.
Thanks,
but does anyone need another self-righteous rock singer whose nose, he says, has led him straight to God? Does anyone need another crooked politician caught with his pants down and money sticking in his hole? Does anyone need another racist preacher? Hello, Jesse Jackson.
Whoa.
So he doesn't hold back, and it's just beautifully done. Reed said that the album itself is like a movie or a story. You should listen to it in one sitting.
Yep.
Because there's highs and lows and quiet and really active stuff. And you mentioned Last Great American Whale. I'm not going to do a track-by-track analysis of it because I really suggest that you have a listen.
Yeah.
As I mentioned a couple of episodes back, Mark contacted us and said he hadn't listened to Melt. And then he listened to Melt and he loved it. I really urge you to have one listen. Go for a drive for an hour and listen to this in the car. That's how I listen to my music.
Or if you've got a stereo, you can listen to it at home. If you've got,
Can
proper
you?
speakers and stuff like that, you can listen to it at home.
Is that what those things are for?
That's what you use them for.
Wow. I thought I had to go into my car.
Well, you can. I mean, you can travel up and down the coast here and enjoy yourself. But you can listen to stereo music in a house with stereo speakers.
Well, do that because you'll really enjoy this album.
High fidelity, as opposed to shit fidelity in the.
I've got good sound. I've got good sound in my Hyundai.
You did not.
Last Great American Whale. You mentioned Last Great American Whale as a great song. Now, this is the closest we come to Lou Reed's spoken word stuff. Right, and that's what he was renowned for.
Yes.
But, Americans don't care for much of anything, air and water the least. Americans don't care too much for beauty. They'll shit in a river, dump battery acid in a stream. They'll watch dead rats wash up on the beach and complain if they can't swim.
That is awesome. It's a couple of lines.
It's so hard edge. Yeah.
Jeez,
and then he's talking about the Last Great American Whale, which is one of those sort of, he's used it as a device for America, the real America, with ethics and morality and everything like that. The Last Great American Whale. My mother said she saw him in Chinatown, but you can't always trust your mother. Which is funny because he's had such a fractious relationship with his parents.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. For his whole life, they sent him off for electric shock therapy and.
Did they?
Yeah. He had inverted commas mental issues when he was younger. Maybe he did, but hating his parents was one of those.
Is that right?
Yep, absolutely.
Wow. Yeah. So, I wonder if the ECT gave him more creativity or less.
I don't know. You've got to wonder about things like that, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not uncommon for creative people like that to be,
bit over the edge,
bit different,
a little bit different,
and he clearly was. But ECT you would think would be one of the ways to actually wreck creativity. But maybe it just sort of scrambled the brain into a new sort of order, and voila.
It's possible. Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know why it works anyway, or if it does.
No, they don't know. Look, he populates his songs with characters. Yeah, he's almost like a Hemingway on this on this album. Yeah, where he writes about. He's always written about real people. You know, Candy came from out on the island. Yeah. You know, and writes people into his stories, not just scenarios and situations. But this album in particular has got some brilliantly drawn characters. The impoverished Pedro, who lives in the flat with in the apartment with cardboard for the windows, and his dad beats him because he can't beg for long.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So in Dirty Boulevard, Sam, the homeless Vietnam vet in Christmas in February. Dime Store Mystery, the protagonist telling the story in that, which is another sort of spoken word story, and again, just I won't bore you, but so full of twists. It's like hearing someone read a very tight short story. It really is excellent.
You do need to have a look at some of the lyrics in this album, without doubt.
Absolutely. And Halloween Parade, where the person that he's singing the song to died of AIDS, and that's what the song's about. How all these people are missing because they've died of AIDS because of the government deliberately misrepresenting the status of AIDS and not doing anything about it.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh. So really heavily into stuff. It's a very melancholy type of song. And Busload of Faith. How rock and roll can you get? You need a busload of faith to get by. Bob Seger covered it. So, if you want rock and roll cred,
he did
Bob
Busload
Seger,
of Faith, did he?
He did a cover of Busload of Faith. Not a lot of Lou Reed covers around for obvious reasons.
No.
But for Bob Seger to take that, and put it in the middle of Night Moves and a couple of others, it fits.
Mind you could easily do Lou Reed covers because most people in the world wouldn't know them, wouldn't know their covers. So
True enough. Yeah. But the song itself, it's so hard. And do you really want to be known as singing those lyrics?
Sure. Why not?
I know you do.
I do.
Yeah, you're happy at just potty mouthing the whole hour, aren't you?
I am.
You are indeed.
It gives me great joy.
This album was reviewed fantastically. The critics went off the charts. Describing this one. Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
Whenever anyone wants to hear the sound of the 80s collapsing into the 90s in the city of dreams, New York, the album is where they'll have to go. Another album called Pitchfork, a record of unmistakable conviction, one so direct and literary, erudite and rageful that it resembles no protest music written before or since. And I think that's a pretty concise summing up of New York. The Village Voice, the New York culture magazine itself, says it's a beautiful, complex album full of Reed relenting to the power of the riff, trying perhaps to be as big as the album's title implies. If anyone can claim New York as a title, it's Lou Reed.
Now, interestingly,
yep,
Big Bad Bob Dimery, he doesn't get a look in 1001 Albums You Must Listen to Before You Die.
Isn't that interesting? I think there's some holes in that book.
There's Berlin's in there, but not this.
Which, it's very strange. Not everybody liked it, but really, I just discount those opinions and go to some real fan comments. Things like from the time. It's great to have Lou Reed back on form. This album is timeless. Lou's guitar. He loved this one. Lou's guitar tone hits like a brick and slices like a razor.
Hits you like a brick with a slice of lemon around it.
Absolutely, yes.
It's that pan-galactic gargle blaster.
Exactly right. Thank you, Zaphod. Yeah, it's probably the most accessible Lou Reed album, and you couldn't help but agree with that. It really is a lovely. Not everyone loved it though.
Oh yeah, who didn't like it?
Yeah, some fans were quoted as saying it's a curiosity rather than a classic, and that's looking back on the album, 20 years later.
Wow.
Some of these people, I don't know what they want from an album, but there's one here that says, it compared to Velvet's or his early solo work, it's forgettable.
Oh.
I thought,
it's not.
It's not at all. And another one commented, he only did 3 great albums, Transformer, Berlin, and Velvet's first album. And this same guy is astonished that most rate this one amongst Lou Reed's finest releases.
He must be a miserable bastard, mustn't he?
That's really hard.
That's got to be a he.
Yeah.
Fucking miserable bloody arsehole.
Yeah, absolutely. It's important. The album tells a story. So if you listen to the album, you can follow it through. It's not a linear story like Journey to the Centre of the Earth or something like that. But it is...
We're going to have to look at Journey to the Centre of the Earth one day, mate. We really must.
Yeah. The way Robert Altman makes movies, with a snapshot of a character and then you come to another character and then you come to another character and then those earlier characters blend into those stories. He's a wonderful director, and Lou Reed takes a lot from Robert Altman
there you go.
in doing that sort of thing. And this story, you can feel the rage growing as you listen to the album, as you go through it. You can listen to individual songs, but you've really got to first know what the album's all about. It's got all of this stuff, but at the end of the day, it's a great listen. It's a really, really good album. Yeah,
very good album.
14 songs with a variety of musical styles within Lou Reed's limited vocal range and so on.
Mm-hmm.
It still sounds fresh, but it's delivered in a meaningful way and not just some glib stab at chart position. Now, someone said to him, Lou, you've got to sell some records. So this is his response to that.
And interestingly...
Yep.
It goes for 56 minutes.
And it's a single album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talked about earlier about 35 to 40 minutes being the sort of the standard when we were looking at albums in 1988. It's 56, so it's a long album.
It's a long album, and it doesn't drag at all. You get to that 56 and you think, well, that's time well spent.
That's time well spent.
It stands a lot of listens, and my kids were brought up on this album, and my daughter says, what are you doing coming up? And I told her New York, and she says, oh, great, that's a great album. So I'm doing my best to pass on cultural appreciation to the next generation.
It's funny how my kids think that They Might Be Giants is just a normal album, like the normal band, because I used to listen to it all the time.
Yeah, well, the same with my my tastes. All of my kids. Oh yeah, I know that.
You must have a look at They Might Be Giants one day.
There's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
They Might Be Giants. Yeah,
really good.
Quite the opposite of Lou Reed.
Of course, Lou Reed, quite the opposite.
But if Lou Reed hadn't done this album, there's every possibility and every risk that he would have continued to slide down to forgotten. Yeah. But this album brought him back and cemented his place in the cultural history of music.
Made him a couple of bucks.
That helps.
Got a couple of bucks and sort of got him a bit more notoriety. And do you remember he curated one of the Vivid festivals out here in Australia?
He did. He became a lot more active and a lot less doing stuff out of straight anger. Yeah, still maintained the anger, maintained the rage, but focused it in a lot of the things he did after this.
Yeah.
His live albums were great too.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you say you saw this album live? Were you saying this album?
Not this album particularly, but around the time that I saw Lou Reed quite a few times and saw him do most of these songs. He didn't do the spoken word stuff a lot on stage. He did more of the rock and roll stuff.
Yeah.
And it delivered perfectly.
Yeah, right.
Because he toured with the two guitars, bass and drums.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And he was always very, very strong live.
You didn't go to New York to see him at all, did you?
I did not, no.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, that would have been lovely indeed.
Would have been nice to go to New York to see him do a version of New York in New York.
It would have been. No, I think you're thinking of Berlin. I saw him do Berlin as a concert.
That's right. I knew he did.
Different city.
That was in Berlin, was it?
No, that was in Sydney, but it was Berlin.
Oh, right, okay. Likes the city, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
What, has he done any other cities?
I don't know. I'll go back and look.
Carl did Paris, didn't he?
Yeah. Did live in Italy.
Oh, there you go.
Live in London.
Reed did live in Italy with the three tenors.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah, that'd be great. Wouldn't it be good to have the three tenors doing this album?
It would be. On that note,
ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. A fascinating romp through Mr. Reed. We are going to call it quits, and thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well, that's a wrap, and thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. It's free. And if you like this, tell your friends about us. Also, contact us at mickandthefatman@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks very much. See you next time.